Okay, hello everyone. So now I have the humerus model with me here, and I'll be explaining the anatomical parts we took along with the muscle insertions and origins here. Okay, so here starting off we have the humeral head. You can see it here. It always faces medially, and we have here the lesser tuberosity. It's anteriorly, and this is the greater tuberosity, and it's laterally and around posteriorly. So here we position the humerus like this then. So this must be the left humerus of the left arm. So at the greater and between the two tuberosities is the bicipital groove. So at the greater tuberosity, now the blue ones are the insertions of the muscles, red ones are origins. So in the lesser tuberosity, one muscle inserts there, and that is the subscapularis. And here at the greater tuberosity, you have here the supraspinatus insertion, infraspinatus, teres minor. Okay, so these together will make the rotator cuff. Now at the bicipital groove, you have here the medial lip of the bicipital groove, lateral lip, and the floor. So at the medial lip, you have the insertion. So remember, a lady between two majors. So at the medial lip, you have the insertion of the teres major, and here at 57, you have the insertion of the pectoralis major. And in the floor of it, in the middle, you have the insertion of the latissimus dorsi. So a lady between two majors again. Here at 72, you have the insertion of the deltoid muscle. And so we're done with the, we have the insertion here around the also medial part. This is the insertion of the coracobrachialis. Okay, so now we'll move on to origins, going down. So now the red one, this is the origin of the brachialis muscle. Also like around, so this is like the front of the humerus. So this is the origin of the brachialis muscle. Rotating it, you have here in the back, you have the spiral groove, and it's called spiral because it looks spiral shaped. It's also called radial groove. Above it, you'll find the origin of the lateral head of the triceps, and below it, around below it, this is the origin of the medial head of the triceps. So you have the medial head of the triceps, lateral head of the triceps, brachialis. This is the insertion of the coracobrachialis. Its origin is not here. It's at the coracoid. Okay, so and these are most likely of the forearm, so they're not with us yet. So now here we have below, we have the fossa. First of all, we have the non-articular processes at the end. So this is also the head of the humerus. We know this is the medial portion. So this is the medial epicondyle, lateral epicondyle. So these are non-articular processes, and therefore attachment of muscles of the forearm. Here we have, now moving medially, we have the trochlea here. Above it is the conoid fossa, and here we have the capitulum. Above it is the radial fossa. And if we rotate this posteriorly, we have a large fossa here, which is the olecranon fossa. Olecranon fossa is for the olecranon process of the ulna, which will be shown now after a while. And here this is also the conoid fossa, is also for the conoid process of the ulna. Laterally, the radial fossa is, like from the name, is for the radial radius here. Okay, so going back again, this is now the medial side of the humerus, the lateral side. Now this is the whole elbow with the attached bones, and this will be easier to understand now. So we said here, going back because this is the easiest part, we have the olecranon fossa for the olecranon process of the ulna, and you can see the ulna here. So the ulna is always on the medial side, the radius is always on the lateral side. So the olecranon process of the ulna is attached behind, and then during flexion, you'll see that the ulna, it's entering to the conoid fossa. Okay, you can see that. So this conoid process, it will enter into the conoid fossa during flexion. Now, but the olecranon fossa is always attached. The olecranon fossa is always in the olecranon fossa during flexion and extension. Now for the radius, it's you can see this is the radius on the lateral side, and it's not during extension, it's not in the fossa, but when also during flexion, you'll see that the radius is like entering the radial groove. that's above the capitulum. So it will enter the radial groove here during flexion. So that's why it's called the radial groove. So this is the whole attached elbow, the humerus with the two bones now, ulna and radius.